One evening, Duncan returned to the sheds in a particularly bad mood. He had been delayed by sheep on the line, and the passengers had blamed him for being late. "Stupid passengers!" snorted Duncan. "All they do is complain. They're worse than trucks."
"They aren't as bad as some of the passengers we got on our old line," said Duke. "I recall one incident very well indeed."
Peter's son looked down at his buffers. He knew exactly what Duke was talking about. "Please tell us about it," said the little engines in unison.
"Very well,"
answered Duke. And this is the story he told. Long ago, when Peter's son was called Stuart and Sir Handel Falcon, they worked alongside Duke on the old Mistletoe Railway. Stuart had not long arrived on the line and was still learning the rope. One day, Duke and Stuart were outside the shed when the manager came to speak to them. "Stuart, I'm very impressed with how you are adapting to life on our railway," he said. "Oh, thank you, sir. So tomorrow, I would like you to take the morning passenger train in Duke's place. I'm sure he wouldn't mind."
"Not at all, sir. It would be a good way for the youngster to learn the line."
"Oh, I'm not so sure about this," said Stuart worriedly. "Ever since I've arrived, I've only pulled trucks and double-headed passenger trains with either you or Falcon. I'm not sure I could handle this on my own."
"Of course you can. Just keep your eyes on the rails and your mind on the task."
"Yes," answered Stuart doubtfully. The next day, Stuart collected his coaches and shuffled to the station. The passengers had just boarded the train when a smartly dressed elderly gentleman stepped onto the platform. "This won't do at all," he snorted crossly. "This is not befitting of an English lord. I should be travelling in my own private coach, not herded into one of these garden sheds on wheels like cattle." Stuart and the coaches glared at the man. He had made such a fuss that Duke shunted an additional coach onto the back of the train. "Pompous old toad," muttered Stuart as he puffed out of the station. Come along," Stuart puffed to the coaches as they steamed up the valley. But unbeknownst to Stuart or his driver, the coupling of the private coach was rusted and had needed replacing. Then, it happened. As Stuart puffed over some rough section of track, the coupling broke, and the last coach was left standing as the rest of the train went onwards. When they reached the terminus, the guard looked back. "We've lost the last coach!" The driver, fireman and guard went to see the station master. "Duke is further up the line. Perhaps he can shunt the coach down here." Meanwhile, the English lord sat in the coach, complaining. "These railways are despicable! I much prefer the horse and cart." Just then, he heard the sound of an engine's whistle and the pounding of pistons. Duke buffered up to the coach and pushed it on to the station. When he arrived, the English lord climbed out of the coach and let his anger known to Stuart and his crew. "What do you lot think you're playing at?" thundered the English lord. "Leaving me stranded in the middle of nowhere! I'll never travel by rail again!" Duncan was in awe. "What happened then?" asked Duncan. He complained to the manager, of course, but he said I wasn't to blame. The coupling on the coach was old and rusted, you see.
Indeed. You see, Duncan, you never know you've had bad passengers until you've had one like that.
Duncan rather hoped he never had to.